You wake up every day carrying an invisible audience with you. Before you speak, you wonder how you'll sound. Before you wear something, you wonder what people will think. Before you make a decision, you imagine someone judging it. It's as if every moment of your life is being watched, evaluated, and quietly scored by people around you. So you become careful, not because you want to, but because you feel like you have to. You choose your words more carefully than your thoughts. You hesitate before sharing an opinion. Sometimes you stay silent even when you know the answer because saying nothing feels safer than being wrong. Without realizing it, you stop living for yourself. You start living inside other people's minds. The strange part is that your brain believes this is protecting you. Thousands of years ago, belonging to a group wasn't optional. If your tribe rejected you, survival became much harder. Acceptance meant food, safety, and protection. Rejection could mean being left alone in a dangerous world. Your brain still carries that ancient wiring. Today, no one is throwing you out of a tribe because you stumbled over your words during a presentation or wore the wrong outfit, yet your brain reacts as though your survival is on the line. A simple mistake suddenly feels enormous. An awkward moment becomes something you replay for days. A small criticism feels much bigger than it actually is. The danger feels real, even when it isn't. That's why you often believe everyone is watching you. You think they noticed your nervous voice. You think they saw your mistake. You think they're still talking about that embarrassing moment from last week. But here's what usually happens. Most people barely notice, and the ones who do often forget within minutes. Everyone is busy being the main character in their own story. While you're wondering what they're thinking about you, they're wondering what everyone else thinks about them. The audience inside your head is much larger than the audience in real life. Yet you keep performing for it. You begin monitoring yourself constantly. How am I standing? Did I smile enough? Did I sound confident? Should I have said something different? After every conversation, you replay it like a movie, searching for mistakes that no one else remembers. You become both the actor and the harshest critic. Instead of experiencing life, you spend your energy evaluating your performance in it. Little by little, your personality starts changing. You laugh at jokes you don't find funny. You agree with opinions you don't actually believe. You apologize even when you've done nothing wrong. You hide your interests because they might seem strange. You stop wearing clothes you genuinely like because someone might judge them. You don't ask the question you wanted to ask. You don't share the idea you wanted to share. You don't take the opportunity you've been dreaming about, not because you aren't capable, but because someone somewhere might disapprove. Without noticing it, approval becomes your emotional currency. Every compliment feels like permission. Every criticism feels like proof that you're failing. Your happiness begins depending on reactions you can't control, and that's an exhausting way to live. The cost isn't always obvious. Sometimes it looks like the promotion you never applied for because you thought people would think you weren't ready. Sometimes it's the friendship that never became real because you only showed the version of yourself that seemed easiest to accept. Sometimes it's the creative project you never shared because you imagined strangers criticizing it before anyone even saw it. Years can pass this way. Not because you lacked talent, not because you lacked opportunity, but because you gave invisible opinions the power to make visible decisions. Then one day, something surprising becomes clear. The people you've been trying so hard to impress aren't living inside your head. They're living inside theirs. They're replaying their own conversations. They're worrying about their own mistakes. They're wondering if they sounded awkward. They're questioning whether people like them. Many of them are carrying the exact same invisible audience you are. The people you fear are judging you may be just as afraid of being judged themselves. And suddenly something changes. You realize you can't control what anyone thinks. Even if you were perfect, someone would misunderstand you. Someone would disagree. Someone simply wouldn't like you. That's part of being human. The goal was never to eliminate judgment. The goal was to stop building your life around the possibility of it. Because the prison was never other people's opinions. It was believing those opinions deserved to control your choices. The moment you stop living for an audience that barely exists, something remarkable happens. You speak a little more honestly. You take a few more chances. You make mistakes without carrying them for weeks. You begin discovering who you are when you aren't trying to satisfy everyone else. And perhaps that's the greatest freedom you'll ever find. Not convincing the world to approve of you, but finally giving yourself permission to live, even if it doesn't.